Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The Express reports Prince Harry's interview with trauma specialist Gabor Mate has come back into the spotlight as the expert has spoken of his regret for agreeing to host the in-depth chat. Mate said, "I had a gut feeling all along that they shouldn't agree to doing it the way they set it up. The way it was set up was, in order to watch it, people had to buy a copy of Harry's book. And I thought, this is not fair. 4 million people have already bought the book. Why can't they watch this interview? Do they have to buy another copy? In other words, I believe that this should be a free public service on a part of two people who can have a very interesting conversation, but out of sheer opportunism, I agreed to it. So I didn't follow my gut feelings. I lost myself, even in agreeing to the format." Columnist Jan Moir in the Daily Mail critiqued Harry and Meghan's statement about Israel. We mentioned on Saturday that whereas William and Kate's statement specifically had the phrasing, "the horrors inflicted by Hamas' terrorist attack upon Israel," the statement from the Sussexes more generically stands against all acts of terrorism and brutality. Jan Moir wrote, "There isn't a situation in the world that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex can't make worse by eagerly inserting themselves into the narrative." In a statement released on Wednesday, the breathless couple condemned all acts of terrorism and brutality following the Hamas attack on Israel. So caring yet also so terribly, terribly neutral, just in case they antagonize someone who might be useful in the future. Or perhaps there is a more noble reason behind their careful impartiality. That would be marvellous, if true. Yet, in a word salad splashed with their usual oily dressing of corporate banal speak, the Sussexes added that they were supporting our partners and organisations on the front lines in Israel to provide the urgent aid needed. What does that mean? Archwell is building a new pipeline to pump in fresh water for the besieged Palestinians? Or free copies of Meghan's children's book, The Bench, are available for anyone sending a stamped addressed envelope to Cloud Cuckoo Land, California? Moir also observed a change in the monarchy, writing, "It is not something Queen Elizabeth II would ever have done. Her Majesty always erred on the side of diplomacy, avoided contentious issues, and rose above the political fray throughout her 70 years on the throne. However, if the monarchy is to mean something in the post-Elizabeth world, then surely they have to stand for something too. Since the Queen died, I have struggled to see what the point is of the royal family anymore. Well, this week they made a very big point indeed. This week they had a purpose and a cause, and in plainly calling out terrorism when they saw it, when so many others have failed to do so, they made me feel proud." Palace Intrigue will be right back. It appears someone is trying to stamp down this notion that Charles is jealous of the attention of William and Kate. OK Magazine quotes a source as saying, "The king is very aware of the role of younger members of the royal family in their play in spreading the word to a wider and younger audience. Media and audience tests demonstrate the success of William and Kate's engagement with the younger generation through social media and public appearances, so it's important that they continue this success into 2024 and beyond. The aim is for both William and Kate to build on their popularity as the years go on and take on more engagements, not less. It won't be a case of burning them out, but certainly increasing their profiles and building on youth initiatives that will hold value for the family as a whole as it grows." The Mirror shared data which shows King Charles has undertaken far fewer engagements than his mother did at the same age. So far in 2023, Charles has conducted 162 engagements, while back in 2000, when the late Queen was also 74, she undertook 335. The King is conducting nowhere near the number of engagements the Queen fulfilled. Even at the age of 93 in 2019, she undertook 295 engagements, the source said. The move to increase the younger family members' engagements is an attempt at bridging that gap. The BBC tells us the new King Charles coins are designed to help children learn how to count. Rebecca Morgan, director at the Mint, told the BBC, "The large numbers will be very appealing to children who are learning to count and about the use of money. Also, the animals and everything you see on these coins will appeal to children. They are great conversation starters. Animals ranging from the red squirrel to the capercaillie grouse, apologies for that pronunciation, are depicted on the new designs. The King's now familiar portrait will be on the front of each coin." The BBC points out the tail side of the new coins will be the matter of most interest to collectors and for quizmasters. They are designed to show the importance and precariousness of the natural world. Depending on the denomination, you will find a dormouse, a squirrel, an Atlantic salmon, or even a puffin. Kevin Clancy, director of the Royal Mint Museum, said people who remember pre-decimal coins might recall the Wren farthing or the thrift design on the 12-sided threepence, but it wasn't lots of natural world. What is different about these coins is that they are all about the natural world. The edge inscription of the new £2 coin was chosen by the new King Charles and reads, "In servitio omnium," which means in the service of all. The coins also follow centuries of tradition, with the monarch now facing left, the opposite way to his predecessor. Profiles are alternated between the left and right for successive monarchs. As with previous British kings, and unlike the Queen, he wears no crown. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on your app of choice and head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button for us. It would really help us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.